Celtic supporters are counting down the hours until the team finally returns to Celtic Park this weekend, and there is a real sense that the mood around the club has shifted in recent weeks. Not long ago, many fans feared the season was drifting away, with setbacks piling up and the possibility that there would be very little left to fight for in the closing months. Yet somehow the picture looks different now. The team has managed to steady itself, results have gone their way at key moments, and suddenly there is genuine belief that the campaign could still end on a positive note. The opportunity is there, but the message from inside the club remains clear: nothing has been achieved yet. That feeling was echoed in comments from Martin O'Neill, who spoke about the importance of keeping perspective despite the recent improvements. Coming through a difficult run of matches has given the squad a platform, but it does not guarantee anything for the weeks ahead. The final stretch of the season still holds everything to play for, and the squad knows they must keep pushing if they want to turn this renewed momentum into something meaningful. Considering the ups and downs Celtic have faced this year, even the thought of finishing with silverware would have seemed unlikely not so long ago. Yet that possibility is now firmly on the horizon. Behind the scenes, the squad has also had a brief moment to reset. After the last match, the players were given a couple of days away from training, something that rarely happens during such a demanding schedule. It was a chance to recharge both physically and mentally before the final push begins. With the fixture list easing slightly and more time between matches, the hope is that the group can come back refreshed and ready to maintain the standards required during this crucial period. Work has also continued off the pitch as the coaching staff prepare for the upcoming challenges. Martin O'Neill, along with members of his backroom team, has been closely monitoring potential opponents in person, making sure every detail is considered ahead of the matches that lie ahead. The schedule may not be packed with midweek fixtures for the moment, but the importance of each game feels even greater as the season approaches its decisive phase. One player who has been attracting attention recently is goalkeeper Viljami Sinosalo, whose performances have quietly grown in importance. Earlier in the season, his opportunities were limited, and when he first stepped in, there was a sense that he was still settling into the role. That is understandable considering how little football he had played beforehand. When a goalkeeper enters the side without a regular run of matches behind him, it is natural for there to be some caution in his play. However, as the weeks have passed, Sinosalo has begun to look far more assured between the posts. Defenders in front of him have spoken about the calm he brings to the back line. It is not always about spectacular saves or dramatic moments. Sometimes the most valuable contribution from a goalkeeper is the confidence he provides to the players around him. When crosses come into the penalty area and the keeper takes command of the situation, the entire defense feels more secure. Those small details can transform how a team operates during tense moments in a match. The encouragement from teammates suggests that Sinosalo's presence has been particularly reassuring during set pieces and aerial situations. For defenders, knowing the goalkeeper will step forward decisively to claim the ball removes a huge amount of pressure. It allows them to focus on their own positioning rather than worrying about what might happen behind them. These are the kinds of qualities that can make a goalkeeper invaluable during the run-in of a season when every mistake carries greater consequences. While Sinosalo's rise has been a positive development, attention has also turned toward the fitness of key figures in the squad. Injuries always become a major talking point when the calendar reaches this stage, and Celtic are currently monitoring a couple of important situations. Callum McGregor, in particular, has been dealing with discomfort that could force the club to manage his involvement carefully over the coming matches. McGregor's workload this season has been extraordinary. For long stretches, he has barely left the pitch, starting match after match across multiple competitions. Before the most recent fixture, he had been in the starting lineup for more than 40 consecutive games, a remarkable statistic on its own. What makes it even more striking is the amount of time he has actually spent on the field during that period. Out of thousands of minutes played by the team, McGregor has missed only a handful, highlighting just how central he has been to everything Celtic do. It speaks volumes about his mentality as a player. Throughout his career, he has made it clear that if he is fit enough to play, he wants to be involved. That determination is admired by supporters and teammates alike, but it also places a responsibility on the club to ensure that such dedication does not push him beyond his limits. As players move into their 30s, managing their minutes becomes increasingly important, particularly when they occupy such a crucial role in midfield. For now, the focus is simply on getting him back to full fitness as soon as possible. His experience, leadership, and ability to control the tempo of a match make him one of the most influential figures in the squad. If Celtic are to navigate the demanding weeks ahead successfully, having McGregor available could prove vital. Looking ahead at the schedule, the next sequence of matches presents both opportunity and challenge. Several league fixtures are approaching, and although none of them can be taken lightly, they offer Celtic the chance to build consistency at a crucial time. Winning a couple of games in succession could create the kind of momentum that often defines the final stages of a campaign. The players understand that every result now has a direct impact on how the season will ultimately be remembered. There is also the broader context of the Scottish Cup still looming in the background. Progress in that competition always adds an extra layer of excitement for supporters, particularly when the semi-finals draw closer. The possibility of competing for a trophy remains a powerful motivation, and it ensures that focus levels remain high across the entire squad. At the same time, performances themselves have not always reached the level supporters expect from Celtic. Results have improved recently, but the fluid attacking football associated with the club has not always been fully on display. That is something the coaching staff will be keen to refine as the weeks pass. Finding the balance between winning matches and rediscovering that rhythm and possession could make a significant difference as tougher encounters arrive. What cannot be questioned is the determination within the squad to make the most of the position they now find themselves in. A few weeks ago, the outlook seemed uncertain, but football seasons have a habit of changing direction quickly. With the return to Celtic Park on the horizon and important fixtures approaching one after another, the stage is set for a decisive chapter in the campaign as the team prepares to take another step into the pressure and intensity of the run-in. As the calendar moves closer to the final stretch of the campaign, the rhythm of the fixture list could quietly become one of Celtic's biggest advantages. After months of juggling constant midweek matches and traveling across competitions, the schedule now begins to open up slightly. For the first time in a long while, the team is looking at a run of matches mostly spaced across weekends, and that change alone might offer the squad a chance to regain sharpness both physically and mentally. When players are given that extra recovery time, the difference can often be seen in the intensity of their performances. The immediate focus, however, is on the upcoming clash with Motherwell. Matches like this rarely come easy, particularly at this stage of the season when every opponent has something on the line. Motherwell have shown throughout the year that they are capable of making life difficult for teams that underestimate them, and Celtic will know that a strong start is essential. Dropping points now would only increase the pressure ahead of the fixtures that follow, so the mindset within the squad is expected to be one of complete concentration. Shortly after that, Celtic travel to Tannadice to face Dundee United in what promises to be another demanding test. Early kickoffs away from home can be unpredictable, especially when the home crowd senses an opportunity to disrupt a team chasing momentum. For Celtic, it will be another moment where discipline and composure become crucial. These are the kinds of matches that often define whether a team can maintain a genuine push through the closing weeks of a season. Then comes the final international break of the campaign, a pause that might arrive at just the right time. For players carrying minor knocks or fatigue, that break could provide a chance to recover before the final sequence of matches begins. It is also a period when managers often reassess their plans, looking at which players are ready to step forward and who might need careful management to remain effective until the very end. Once domestic football resumes, the challenges continue with another trip to Dundee before Celtic return to their own stadium for an important meeting with Street Mirren. Matches against the Paisley side have rarely been straightforward, and their competitive approach means Celtic will need to remain patient while searching for openings. Not long after that, the two clubs could meet again in the National Cup semi-finals at Hampton, a stage where tension and expectation always seem to amplify every moment on the pitch. Cup ties at that point in the season carry a special kind of atmosphere. Supporters understand that 90 minutes can determine whether dreams of lifting a trophy remain alive or fade away entirely. For the players, those matches demand not only technical quality, but also the composure to handle pressure situations. A single lapse in concentration can change everything, which is why experienced figures in the squad become so valuable during these occasions. Meanwhile, developments around the league continue to shape the broader picture. One situation drawing attention involves the managerial future at St. Mirren, with increasing speculation suggesting their current manager could be heading elsewhere. Moves like that can have unpredictable consequences for a team, especially when they occur during a critical part of the season. Changes in leadership sometimes spark a renewed response from players, while in other cases they create uncertainty that opponents may attempt to exploit. Away from Scottish football, there was also a curious moment recently involving two former Celtic players meeting on a completely different stage. In an Asian continental competition, both men found themselves on the scoresheet for opposing teams during the same match. It was one of those unusual football coincidences that highlight how the paths of former teammates or club connections can cross again in unexpected places. For supporters back in Glasgow, it served as a reminder of how far Celtic's influence stretches across the global game. Back home, though, attention inevitably returns to the atmosphere surrounding the final derby of the season. The allocation of away supporters for that fixture has been the subject of ongoing discussion following recent tensions. Historically, these matches have been defined by the intensity both on and off the pitch, with supporters from each side playing their part in creating an unforgettable spectacle. Decisions regarding ticket allocations can therefore have a significant impact on the character of the occasion. Many observers feel that maintaining a traditional balance of supporters in the stadium contributes to the drama and authenticity of the rivalry. At the same time, ensuring safety and maintaining order is always the priority for the clubs involved. The outcome of those discussions will likely become clearer as the date approaches, but it is a topic that continues to generate debate among supporters on both sides. Regardless of what happens around that particular fixture, the broader reality remains the same. Celtic have placed themselves back in a position where the final weeks of the season genuinely matter. That in itself represents a turnaround from the uncertainty that once surrounded the campaign. Momentum in football can be fragile, but it can also grow quickly when confidence begins to return. For the players, the objective is straightforward. Focus on the next match and build from there. Each victory adds another layer of belief, and each strong performance reinforces the sense that the team is moving in the right direction. With the crowd at Celtic Park ready to drive them forward and the stakes rising with every passing week, the squad now prepares to step into a run of fixtures where every tackle, every pass, and every goal could shape how this season will ultimately be remembered as the pressure builds and the race toward the finish line gathers intensity. Before we proceed, subscribe to our channel and enable notifications to receive all exclusive news about Celtic FC. Don't miss any details about your favorite team. It's extremely important for Celtic FC fans. Whispers quickly turned into excitement among supporters after reports emerged that Celtic have completed a major financial agreement that could reshape the club's immediate future. While official details remain limited, insiders close to the situation suggest the Scottish Giants have secured a deal valued in the millions, fueling speculation about what comes next for one of Britain's most historic teams. The news spread rapidly through fan communities, where optimism has begun to replace the cautious mood that surrounded the club in recent months. Many believe the investment could signal the beginning of a new phase of ambition at Celtic Park, with supporters already imagining how the additional resources might strengthen the squad and elevate the club's competitiveness on the European stage. Sources around the club indicate the agreement may involve a strategic partnership or commercial expansion designed to boost long-term revenue. If confirmed, the move would align with a growing trend among major clubs seeking new financial avenues to keep pace with the evolving economic landscape of modern football. For supporters, however, the numbers are only part of the story. The real intrigue lies in how the club might use this newfound financial power. Rumors have already begun circulating about potential transfer targets and infrastructure upgrades, though nothing concrete has been announced. Even so, the mere possibility of increased spending power has ignited the imagination of fans eager to see Celtic take a bold step forward. Inside the club, the tone appears cautiously optimistic. Those familiar with the negotiations say the agreement has been in development for some time and represents a carefully planned move rather than a sudden opportunity. That approach suggests Celtic's leadership is thinking beyond short-term gains and focusing on sustainable growth. Whether the deal ultimately transforms the team's fortunes remains to be seen, but one thing is certain: the buzz surrounding Celtic has returned. In stadium corridors, online forums, and across the city, conversations are filled with a single question: could this be the beginning of a new era for the Hoops? For now, supporters can only speculate, but hope is already building. Hello, fan. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel, as it means a lot to Celtic FC. Also, share your opinion about the news in the comments below. See you in the next video.